Nevada Virtual Academy is back. Everybody's ready. Juniors, seniors. An algebra problem. You may have something similar on the proficiency exam. Who knows? And the problem says the length of Charlotte, North Carolina Conservatory Garden is 20 yards greater than its width. The area is 300 square yards. What are the dimensions, right? Length, width. So what I have in mind here is a rectangle, right? And if my lines are not very straight, you guys have to excuse me, okay? That's a rectangle. I have a length and I have the width, okay? And they're also telling me that the area is actually 300 square yards. Now, let's get back. The length. The length is 200 yards greater than its width. So if I have to write the length in terms of width, I will say length will be the width plus 20 yards, right? What else? Well, because this is a rectangle, the area of a rectangle is length times width, right? Next step, well, substitute your length in terms of width. I know my length is width plus 20. Okay, so let's do that, which means my area, which I will also substitute it by its given value, 300 squared yards. So I have 300 equals my length in terms of width, which is width plus 20, right, multiplied by the width. Let's simplify the expression. Let's distribute that W to everything inside the parentheses. I have 300 equals W squared plus 20W. Now, I definitely have to find the dimensions, and first thing I will be able to find, as you guys can see in here, will be the width, right? So let's move this 300 on the right side, right? I'm going to subtract 300 from both sides. As you can see, 300 minus 300 is going to be 0. I will write the right side on the left. I like it better that way. So my equation now would be what? W squared plus 20W minus 300 equals 0. And that's a quadratic equation. Obviously, we learned so many ways to solve a quadratic equation. First of all, you're looking if there is any common factor, and there is none. Second thing, you're looking if this one is a perfect square, and it's not, because 300 is not a perfect square, and we don't have to look any further, right? The other thing, you're looking if this one is a difference of squares, which is not. We've got three terms. Second, let's try to see if I can factor this trinomial. And you always look for possibilities. Obviously, remember I told you that one thing to check to see if that trinomial is factorable will be to check for its delta, the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. Okay, if that's positive, you have solutions, but if it's negative, there's no way to have a real number solutions for this equation, and you can stop. There's no way, right? But we assume that for this problem, because they're talking about real dimensions here, that will not be the case. This is a possibility um, of real roots. Okay, so let's try to factor this trinomial. And this will be factorable. As you can see, the first term here is a w squared, which tells me that inside the two binomials that will be the factors of this trinomial, I will have a w and a w, right? Now I'm looking at my last term. The sign of the last term is a negative one, which means one will be positive, one will be negative. One will be plus a number, the other one would be minus a number. Now I'm looking for factors of 300, right, that added will give me 20. One positive, one negative. I'm looking for factors of negative 300, right? And the first one comes to me is 30 and -10, right? If I'm multiplying 30 by -10, I definitely get -300. But if I'm adding them, am I getting 20? Well, it seems so, right? Because 30 plus -10 is 20, which is what I'm looking for, because the middle term is definitely the sum of the two numbers. And I'm done, okay? Looks like the factorization of this quadratic equation, of this trinomial, if you want, the one on the left side, is w plus 30 times w minus 10. And because we have an equation, this one should equal 0, which should tell you that is possible only if either one of them is 0 or both are 0, right? So one way is to make this one 0. I have, let's take it here, I have w plus 30 equals 0, which means w equals -30. Well, this is not good because I'm talking about real life, and this rectangle has positive dimensions, so this one is not good. And I will check the other one. Let's make this one 0, right? If that one is 0, I'm gonna take it here. I have w minus 10 equals 0, which means my w has to be equal to 10. That's a positive value, and it works. And if your width is 10, your length, as you guys can see in here, your length is your width plus 20, which means your length will be 10 plus 20, which is 30. One last check you should do here, see if the area is 300. The area is what? Length times W, it was given here. Is it length times W equal to 300? Yes, it is. 30 times 10 is 300, and you are done. These are the answers for the given problem. And this is one way to solve it. Obviously, there are many other ways. I just showed you one. Okay? Thank you.